Do not film my belly. Don't do it. Don't tilt that cam. Stop it. Get up here. Listen. My face. This is the money maker, man. Keep it up. You know. You want to get fired? You can get fired real quick around here. All right. What we're talking about. Welcome back, y'all. We're talking about bait casters, right? It's a magical pain in the ass. Everybody thinks, oh, bait casters, you keep your thumb on it. No, that's not how it works. And it's understandable. I can understand how you feel that way and think that way. Look, the problem with a bait caster is if you pitch it out, this little spool, when you release the line, if that bait hits something that you did not intend it to, poof, you get a bird's nest. And it is probably the most frustrating thing that a fisherman can experience. All right? So we're going to talk about how to avoid that. Stop filming my belly! Get in my belly! I feel like the fat man. I did put on some weight, guys. I got married. We cook well. We eat well. We don't work as hard as we should. We still work, though. Anyways, all right, so bait caster. It's got 3 components, okay? It's got your drag. That is set according to the weight of the fish. So if you get a big, heavy fish and you don't want to snap your line, you release the drag, okay? And as you release the drag, it makes the fish able to peel your line off more without snapping it, okay? So that's your drag. And pretty much all of these little bass bait casters are the same, okay? Okay, so how to set it. What you have here, this is what keeps your spool from having that bird's nest effect. It's a magnet, okay? It's actually 4 to 6 magnets. Those magnets sit in little dots. They're little small dots that sit on a wheel, and they sit against other small dots that are on a magnet, and both of these wheels are connected, and you can push that wheel of magnets closer with this. This, when it's dialed all the way up, those magnets are as close together as they can be. When you dial it back to 0, they're further apart. So the idea is the lighter the lure, the further away that you need to set those magnets. So if you got something heavy, you want to tighten it up. If you've got something light, like a crappie jig, loosen it up. Like a 2 or a 3 is fine. But here's how you set it. Okay? So we've got one other component here that we haven't talked about. Now this is your line tension, okay? So when I release this, look at the lure. When I release this, that lure should fall like a spider on a web, okay? And the way that you do that, and you have to, unfortunately, you have to do this for every different lure if it's a different weight. So what you do is you release it, tighten it up. Now, you see the full picture. That lure is not falling. So when I loosen the line tension very slowly, it'll start to fall, okay? There it is. Now that's too much. So what you want is that perfect line tension where it falls like a spider on a web, just like that. See? Just like that. See how it falls slow? Now, and only now, do you set your magnets. Now that's a spinner. It's kind of heavy, so we're going to dial it up. Now the cool thing about the magnets is you can't put it on too much. But when you start using a bait caster, you're going to forget. You're going to get a bird's nest. It's going to be frustrating. It's going to piss you off. Is it worth it? Yes, I think so. I think so because of the action. When you're pulling this thing through the water, you can dip this rod down and reel it, and you get the true action out of all of your bait and all of your jigs and your worms and your fake baits and whatever you're throwing at them. It's just, for some reason, it feels better, and it's a little more challenging, and you really have a lot of feeling. You can get a lot of feeling out of these. You have an advantage of feeling. So if you get those fish that are not hard hitters. Like the opposite of your largemouth bass, the opposite of your tarpon, the opposite of your game fish that tend to attack, i.e., you know, your blue cats, your channel cats, your carp, you know, fish like that. You can really get a lot more feeling out of your rod with a bait caster. It's a pain in the ass though, don't get me wrong. So, I've got my magnet set, I've got my tension set, I've got my drag set. Here we go. Let's cast it. You see those bags of bedding? Let's see if we can hit one. Pretty close. You see what I'm saying? And it's smooth because when you reel it in, you've got this little buddy that evenly brings the line back on the spool. And I'll be honest, it is a little more advanced. If you've been fishing for a while, but you're still a beginner, the push button Zebcos, the open face, what are those reels called? The open face, where you click and release the bail. Mm-hmm. Well, anyways, there's other fishing poles that are easier. This is definitely more advanced. I mean, get into it. It's fun. You have to literally customize every time you put a new lure on. You have to reset it. So it's a little more time consuming. If you get some of the same lures that are just different colors, and you put one of these little swivels on, quick disconnect, you can kind of try the. Would you stop it? I wish you weren't so awkward, bud. You're funny. That's funny. That's good. It's good stuff. Anyways, Baitcaster 101, man. There you go. Give it a go. Maybe we'll get into some more fishing knots. I love knots. That's how this channel started. Obviously, if you're a fisherman or you do anything that requires, you know, being outdoors and heavy loads, that line and how you tie it, there's a way to do it right and there's a way to do it wrong. Film those puppies fighting over a piece of fur. Look at them. They both have homes. Thank God. That little vanilla one on the right is very mouthy. So anyways, guys, hey, thanks for tuning in again. We're going to try to get more content up here. We'll see what happens. Stay tuned and stay vigilant. Stay free. Stay salty.